Hey everybody, Mr. Quick here. Today we're going to be looking at Eureka Math / Engage New York Math, Module 5, Lesson 9. We're going to find perimeter and area on the coordinate plane. Specifically, we're going to be looking at polygons on the coordinate plane and finding perimeter and area. Now, as we recall, just as a quick reminder, area is the space inside. So think about that as if we were looking down at a plot of land and you owned that plot of land, and maybe your house is there and your driveway and your front yard and your backyard and all of that stuff that you own, all the stuff that's in there would be on the area of that land. The perimeter might be if you put a fence around the outside edge, right, like this square here. It's the area around. So in other words, if you think about one of our walls that we have in the classroom, I would need to know the area of that wall to be able to know how many posters we could put up, to know how much paper I need to put up if I want to make a colored background. I would need to know the area to know how much border to buy to go, or excuse me, the perimeter to know how much border to buy to go around the outside. So the area is the inside, the perimeter is the outside. Okay, let's get started. We've got a shape here, and this is a scale drawing of a vegetable garden that Jace plans to make in her backyard. She needs to determine the perimeter and area to know how much fencing and dirt to purchase. So the dirt's going to go on the inside of the garden. The fence is going to go around the outside to keep animals out, right? So we need the perimeter and the area. Well, to find the perimeter, we need to just basically connect the space between each of these points. So we're going to make it simple. We're going to go from point A to B. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 units, right? To go from B to C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So B to C is 7. From C to D, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a funky looking 4. There we go. To go from D to E, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going E to F. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then to go from A to F, we're going to go all the way down. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, in adding all of these together, because we want to go all the way around the outside. So in adding them together, we have 4 and 7 is 11, plus 4 is 15, plus 6 is 21, plus 8 is 29, plus 13 is going to be 42. So the perimeter, the area around the garden, is going to be 42 units. We don't know what the units represent. If this is, let's say, from A to B, 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't know if that's 4 feet, 4 yards. We just don't know. So we just say 42 units. And the reason that we don't say 42 units squared is because it's not squared, right? Like, if you look at, let me erase some of this so we can have a little bit of a fresh canvas here. If you look at, we'll use blue. Like this one, if you put a fence post here, that goes down one space, but it doesn't go around the entire square. It's just one side of the square. That's one side of the square. That's one side of the square. So if you go down, we're not filling in all these squares. We're just filling in essentially one side of the square. So the perimeter would equal 42 units. Now let's look at the area. Okay, knowing that we're going to go ahead and split this into 2 different shapes right there, and knowing that area is length times width, we'll call this section the top, we'll call this section the bottom, and so for the top, length times width, well, let's count them. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 1, 2, 3, 4 So for the top, we end up with 28 units squared. For the bottom, let's count them out. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to end up with 48 units squared. So now we're going to add the 28 and the 48. 8 and 8 is 16. Carry the 1. 4, 5, 6, 7. 76. So the area of the entire thing is 76 units squared. All right. Now, for our next example, we're going to look at a different kind of polygon, and we're actually going to just find the area, but we're going to find it in two different ways. So let's take a look. All right. So our polygon here is six-sided. And so as you can see, what they've done is they've split that into 4 different triangles. Now, we know to find the area of a triangle, we're going to use 1/2 base times height. So we need to find the area of triangle A, the area of triangle B, the area of triangle C, and the area of triangle D. I literally don't know why I said that. The area of triangle 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have to find the area of 4 different triangles, and then we have to make sure at the end that we add them all up, because the actual shape isn't 4 triangles, but it is this shape here. Okay. The good thing we can see is that the area of triangles 1 and 4 will be the same. Those are the same size. So for triangle 4, we know it's 1/2 base times height. We'll start there just because it's kind of easier for us to see, I think. So we're going to end up with 1/2. Now, the height is going to be up here, and so we're going to have to fill that in, right? So if we go this way, the height is 1, 2, 3. And the base then is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1/2, 3 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 1/2 times 12 is going to be 6. So 1 is 6 and 4 is 6, and they're both units squared. And then we can see that 2 and 3 are also the same size. And we see the height. I'm going to look at triangle 2 then right now. We see the height from the highest point is going to be 1, 2, 3. So we end up with 1/2 base times 3. The base is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1/2, 8 times 3. 8 times 3 is 24. 1/2 times 24 is 12. So triangles 2 and 3 are both 12. So we have a 6, a 6, a 12, and a 12. And we need to put them all together. We have 24 here. We have 12 here. Add them together. And we end up with 36 units squared for the area of this shape. Now, that's one way to do it. Breaking that into 4 different triangles, making sure that you remember 1/2 base times height, and then finding the area of each triangle. There's another way to do it, and same shape here, but now we've built a rectangle around our 6-sided shape. So the area of a rectangle we know is length times width. So we're going to find the area of this red rectangle around the outside. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We end up with the area of the entire rectangle is going to be 48 units squared. Now, considering that this whole rectangle is 48, we also have to remember we then have to take out these little chunks that are not part of the polygon. And so those are 4 triangles. 4 triangles that consequently are the same size. So we have, remember, if we're looking for the area of a triangle, it's 1/2 base times height. So this would be where we have our 90-degree angle. So we'll say the base is 2, so 1/2 times 2. The height is 1, 2, 3. So 1/2 times 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 1/2 times 6 is 3. So the area of one rectangle is 3. We don't have one rectangle. We have 4 rectangles. So we have to take that 3 4 times. So the area of all 4 of these, I said rectangles, the area of all 4 of these triangles is 12 units squared. So, oops, here's what we need to do. This whole rectangle, the whole thing, is 48. We're taking away 12 here, 12 here, 12 here, and 12 here. Or I should say, I wrote that wrong. You know what? We have 3 times 4. I was getting ahead of myself. 3 times 4 is 12, but then 1/2 times 12 is going to be 6. Or no, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry. So yes, we have 1/2 base times height. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 1/2 is 3. Now so we're taking away 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, and 3 here. So that's 12 total that we're taking away, right? 3, 6, 9, 12. So if you subtract the 12 from the 48, we end up with 36 units squared. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stop there, and we'll do some more examples in class, of course. Thank you for watching. Sorry about that little mistake there. I did it correctly, and then I was looking at it and got a little bit ahead of myself, but I think you kind of know the feeling when that happens. So it's always good to take a step back and look at the work you're doing and say, okay, what do I mean by this, right? So I always leave these little mistakes in there. Don't make them too often, but I like to leave them in the video so you see that, hey, even your teacher makes mistakes. What's important is we realize the mistake and we go back and fix it, okay? All right, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you very soon, and we'll work on some more examples together. See ya.